So what I find very interesting is I made a video nearly 2 weeks ago now talking about the potential possibility that Andrew Garfield actually signed on for more than his role in Spider-Man No Way Home nearly 2 weeks ago, and going on about how I've heard information about a potential TASM 3, Amazing Spider-Man 3, and more Andrew Garfield because he was the MVP of Spider-Man No Way Home. No one had energy, charisma, and charismatic energy like he did. Every single Twitter super duper scooper all of a sudden has sources telling them the same thing, and every single online creator is also hearing the same thing. Now, I'm not going to say I was the first person to say it because I wasn't, but I heard that information about a month or so before the movie came out. So it's interesting now that a lot of other super duper Twitter scoopers are backing up what I said nearly 2 weeks ago. Now, it is very interesting. So if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. Check us out on Instagram at WarStew. If you want to see the face behind the voice, also check us out on Twitter, WarStewG. I've started to tweet a fair bit on there. So the potential of Tobey Maguire appearing in Doctor Strange 2 is looking likely. Now, we did a video a few days ago covering a major potential plot leak for the Multiverse of Madness that does state Tobey Maguire would be in there. I'll leave it pinned and I'll put a card over top right now. So it does look like we are getting more Andrew and more Tobey Maguire, which is freaking fantastic. But the most beautiful thing about Spider-Man No Way Home is when I've been speaking to people I personally know that had no idea about Tobey and Andrew being in the movie, and hearing their reactions to it was freaking beautiful, because everyone that follows YouTube channels like mine and a bunch of others, we all knew Tobey and Andrew were going to be in it. Yes, we didn't know exactly 100% how they were going to appear, but it's so cool hearing the reactions personally from people that had no freaking idea because they don't care about this stuff. They just like to watch Spider-Man movies. It's freaking beautiful for them people. So recently, the Spider-Man No Way Home writers have hinted that they tried to do a post-credit scene with one of the other Spider-Men. They decided not to do it. As we know, it was part of Tobey Maguire coming back that they didn't divulge any information post Spider-Man 3, but with Andrew Garfield, he wanted that emotional attachment, the emotional trauma from him not being able to save Gwen Stacy, and he had actual input into the script. And it was cool that they allowed him to get some kind of retribution for Gwen Stacy dying, and he got to save Zendaya MJ. Yes, I said Zendaya. I don't know why you people keep saying I say her name wrong, because that is how you say her name. So there was supposed to be an Andrew Garfield post-credit scene. Let's break it down. It's customary by the point to expect a tease, mid-form credit, post-credit scene in any movie. So Spider-Man No Way Home had a fun tag midway through, which I think was actually really boring. The Venom Let There Be Carnage had no connection. It didn't really build up anything. Yes, it is teasing that they've left a symbiote or part of the symbiote in the MCU, so there can be a fight with Venom versus Tom Holland Spider-Man in the MCU, and then we can have an Andrew Garfield Tom Hardy fight in his universe. But Tom Hardy wants a Tom Holland fight. He doesn't actually want, he's not inferred or said anything about anything else. When asked by Variety if they'd be interested in working with Tobey and Andrew in the future, they said, I would hope so. I would love to see more of their journey. We even talked about, oh, we could do a post-credit tag here, we could do a post-credit tag there, but essentially they didn't do it. It is interesting to see the differences between Tobey's perception and Andrew's perception of what they would have wanted to do going forward. And the alleged post-credit scene was going to tease more of Andrew Garfield going forward. As everyone knows, the fan favorite, for some reason, it's really close with Tobey and Andrew. So the Spider-Man No Way Home writers revealed the Venom symbiote. Venom was the sixth member of the Sinister Six, and he was supposed to have a huge role in this movie, but the Spider-Man screenwriters scrapped the whole Venom story pretty much. It was kind of pointless to send. It was just for hype. It really was for hype. So in No Way Home, Venom got sent back, and in the Venom Let There Be Carnage post-credit scene, they sent Venom to the MCU for literally no reason. The first draft, we bit off more than we could physically chew. Maybe some would argue that we still bit off more than we can chew. Venom was essentially supposed to be used in the final battle. Realistically, I've spoke to a lot of people about the whole Venom post-credit scene, and a lot of people fail to understand the whole point of that because there wasn't a point. If you're going to bring him in the MCU and he doesn't even physically see Spider-Man, yes, he's seen Spider-Man on the TV screen during a TV screen, but realistically, it made no sense. The screenwriters also went over the Let There Be Carnage plot hole, which wasn't really a plot hole, but it kind of was. They just basically said this: knowledge of the universe deep in his subconscious, which indicates information about Peter Parker, hence why he got sent to the MCU and got sent back. The idea is that the symbiote has knowledge of other universes buried in its brain. It's some kind of knowledge of connection, which doesn't necessarily mean it's actually Tom Hardy Venom. It would be a different iteration of Venom. The most important thing is that wasn't just going to be a bunch of fan service. It was going to be just curtain calls for everybody. We had to figure out a way that the movie told the story of Peter Parker right now, organically coming off where we left the last movie. That was also our North Star. Yeah, it's a big idea. Let's not forget, Peter, you get lost in the mix. It has to be an emotional journey. So realistically, the Venom post-credit scene was pointless. Venom being in the post-credit scene as well was pointless because he was supposed to be in the movie properly. They still could have done that without actually taking it away from Tom Holland, Peter Parker. So I really think that was a big miss. Now, I know Sony wants to throw Venom into everything related with Tom Holland, but realistically, judging by the people that have watched its reaction, it realistically made no sense at all. And it was a shame. It was a real big shame. Venom 2 wasn't very good, but essentially the screenwriters revealed a deleted Andrew Garfield post-credit scene, but it didn't really divulge what it was. So you'll probably see a bunch of YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram posts talking about this deleted scene, but realistically, it is clickbait because realistically, it's like, yeah, there was going to be a post-credit scene with Andrew, but we're not going to tell you what it was. He was just going to be here, there, doing this. Could have been that, could have been there. So it's realistically pointless, all these interviews saying, yeah, it could have been this, it could have been that. It's just giving more traffic to the Spider-Man No Way Home franchise and the potential future, adding tidbits here and there without realistically saying, yeah. So they basically asked, are Andrew and Tobey going to be used again? And their response is, we would love to work with them, but you're only the screenwriter, so it's kind of a pointless question unless you're talking to Amy Pascal or Kevin Feige himself. So it will be interesting. So the updated information for Andrew and Tobey is that Andrew's supposed to get 3 appearances. One's supposed to be TASM 3. One's supposed to be the potential Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen story standalone movie. And the other one is supposed to be in Morbius and apparently in Doctor Strange 2. Andrew and Tobey are supposed to appear absolutely everywhere. And because in theory the Spideyverse has been open, I guess they could in theory if they wanted to. Now, when Morbius comes out later this month, we will know, is that actually Tom Holland, Peter Parker, that's going to be on the run, on the wall, although that's already happened now. So we were supposed to get Morbius before Spider-Man. So will all that be cut? We don't know. But at least we're going to find out what universe it actually happens in. So like always, guys, let us know what you think down below. Any constructive criticism would be cool. Check us out on Instagram at WarStew. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, share everywhere, comment 100 times each, please. And also check us out on Twitter, WarStewG, and we'll catch you in another video. But first, do you want more Andrew? Do you want TASM 3? Release to TASM. Well, you can't really say release to TASM 3. You got to make it first, don't you? So like always, guys, I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.